a tale of a powerful celestial father, a monstrous mother, and a royal destiny found not in a crib, but abandoned among the claws of beasts.
Welcome to the deep dive. And you've brought us a fantastic collection of sources today. It's all centered on one of the most compelling narratives from the ancient Near East, the myth of the sun god and the foundling king.
Exactly. Our mission today is to journey right into the heart of this story, this really mysterious story. We want to trace its roots back through Hurrian traditions and into the greater Hittite world.
Right, and we're not just, reciting an old myth. We're trying to uncover what it tells us about their beliefs about divinity, royalty, and even human morality.
I think it's important to set the stage first. When most people think of Hittite mythology, they probably think of these grand cosmic wars between gods.
The big state-sponsored epics,
Yeah.
covenants between kings and deities, that sort of thing. But this story, with its Hurrian roots, it offers something really different.
It does. It's more like a folktale. It's earthy, it's personal, and it centers on this direct interaction between a god and mortal life. It's what the texts call a theophany.
A divine appearance. It pulls the action right out of the clouds and, well, down into the grazing fields.
That's the key, isn't it? The god here isn't fighting some cosmic sea serpent. He's just driven by a very mundane, very instant desire.
So our sources say that one day, the sun god, you can call him Shimage or Istano, is gazing down from the sky.
And he spots something. Not a goddess, not a queen, but a magnificent, beautiful cow.
And the sources even point out that she's grazing in pastures where she shouldn't be. There's this little illicit edge to the whole scene right from the start.
That detail that she's trespassing becomes his excuse. Desire just completely takes over the deity, and he decides to descend.
But he takes on a disguise. He slips into the role of the chief herdsman, the owner of the meadows.
And this is where it shifts from just observation to something, well, something much darker.
Yeah.
He confronts the cow.
Not to shepherd her, though. It's a tactic. He accuses her of damaging the pastures, and he uses that authority to sort of corner her. The texts make it very clear his intention is purely physical.
It's pretty jarring for a major god, isn't it?
It is. I mean, the sun god is supposed to be the shepherd of people. This role is just a means to an end. The behavior itself has these raw, ancient traces of zoophilia or sodomy.
It just shows that in this context, the gods are flawed. They're driven by impulse, even the god of light and order. It really challenges any idea of divine perfection right at the start.
Absolutely. The union is achieved, and the stage is set for an unnatural birth.
After 10 months, and that's a human gestation period, which is a huge clue right there, the cow gives birth. But it's not a calf.
No. It's a two-legged, human male child, a hybrid,
Yeah.
a melis. And for the mother, the consequences of the god's impulse are immediate.
And it leads straight to this moment of just absolute horror, maternal rejection. The cow is consumed by rage. The narrative even gives us her thought, why does it not resemble me?
That disappointment just transforms her. The sources say she arches her back, turning into something like a wild predator. She wants to kill the baby she just bore.
A complete reversal of instinct. It's terrifying, but right at that moment, the father intervenes.
The sun god appears, blazing with light, and commands her to stop. He saves his son from her fury.
But it's only a temporary rescue. He goes back to the heavens, and as soon as he's gone, the mother acts again.
She takes the child and commits the ultimate act of abandonment.
And she doesn't just leave him in a field. This is intentional cruelty. She takes him high up into the mountains, into the most desolate, dangerous place she can find.
The texts are very specific. It's a landscape designed for death. There are venomous snakes, birds of prey, and a whole host of meat-eaters. Lions, wolves, hyenas, bears, all converging on this one tiny, helpless infant.
It's an overwhelming scene, but this is where the story pivots completely. You have divine impulse and animal rage, and now you get human kindness.
The child is surrounded at death's door, and suddenly a mortal appears, a hunter, though some fragments call him a fisherman named Pisha.
Right, and the moment he approaches, something miraculous happens. The birds and snakes, they're startled, and they just flee. The area is suddenly clear.
The hunter, who our sources tell us is childless, is just ecstatic. He wasn't hunting for a baby, but he finds this perfect, healthy boy. He just picks him up.
And his internal monologue is beautiful. He thinks this has to be a sign from the gods, that the sun god saw his suffering, his childlessness, and guided him to this exact spot.
He even murmurs that line, "Truly the sun god places bread upon the table of those he loves." He just accepts the child immediately, no hesitation.
And with that one act, he's instantly more of a parent than the biological mother ever was.
It's a foundational theme, isn't it?
Yeah.
The humble, childless person finding the hero. It validates the hunter's worth more than any royal title could.
So to protect the boy, he takes him secretly to his home city, Irma. And this is where we see his cleverness. He tells his wife to fake going into labor.
It's a brilliant move. The whole town hears these cries. The fisherman's wife is giving birth. And the naive villagers just flood them with gifts.
Bread, sheep fat, beer, it's social capital. It legitimizes the boy's arrival and gives the family resources.
Exactly. So years pass. The boy grows up. No idea. He's not the hunter's real son. Meanwhile, up in the sky, his divine father decides it's time to check in.
He brings his vizier, Bunin, and they descend to Earth. But they can't just show up as gods.
No, that would invalidate the whole thing. So they disguise themselves as humble travelers looking for a place to stay. It's the classic hospitality test.
This is where their character, the hunter and his wife, is truly measured.
And they pass with flying colors. They're completely unaware they're hosting gods, but they offer unparalleled generosity.
They don't just give them some food, they give them everything.
Everything. Their very last stores, the last of their oil, the last of their flour, the remaining firewood. They give until they have nothing left for themselves.
They put the needs of strangers above their own survival. And it profoundly moves the sun god.
He realizes this poor couple has a moral character far superior to his own, and certainly superior to the mother. He can't keep up the disguise anymore.
He reveals himself, the Teophany. He explains who he is, who the boy is, and he blesses them for their incredible, selfless kindness.
And that's it. The hunter is rewarded. The test is over.
So now the boy is claimed by his divine father and put on his path to destiny. The narrative says he's meant for greatness, for successes far beyond what anyone would expect from his unusual origins.
And here's where the myth's purpose shifts. It becomes an ideological story, a tale that explains the origin of something.
The sun god takes the boy, and his destiny is to become the origin of a major religious object, the cult statue of the goddess Hepet in the great city of Halep.
It gives the statue this incredible backstory. It tells the worshippers, this isn't just stone. This is the result of a divine birth, a monstrous rejection, and miraculous human adoption. It gives the artifact a divine history.
And the sources even try to connect this myth to a real historical figure. They suggest this hero is King Anum-Hirbi of Mama,
A king famous for founding a swift, powerful, lightning empire. A king born of light and beast, rescued by a hunter. It's an amazing lineage.
He was apparently raised in the Mari Palace, performed wonders, but his story takes a final, tragic turn.
Yes, it's heartbreaking. Later in life, as King Anum-Hirbi suffers just crushing defeats, unending misfortune, everything he built starts to collapse.
It raises a big question, doesn't it? Can even a divinely ordained destiny be defeated by, the sheer weight of mortal suffering?
Apparently so. He couldn't bear the constant string of tragedies. The dramatic texts say he chose a final, heroic act.
Unable to face more loss, Anum-Hirbi, the foundling king, he took his own life. He drank poison.
It's the ultimate tragedy of the story. The child, saved by a god destined for greatness, is ultimately defeated not by an enemy, but by despair. He rose to the highest height, only to be crushed by it.
The astonishing power of divine desire, the darkness of maternal rejection, and the magnificent yet tragic rise and fall of a king born of a god and a beast. This story reminds us that divinity can be flawed, but real redemption, true royalty, is found in the generosity of the human heart.
And it's a reminder that destiny, even when it's woven by the gods, still has to be carried by a mortal. And sometimes that weight is just too much.
I hope you've enjoyed our journey into this mysterious world. If you liked this deep dive, please consider sharing it with a friend. Until we meet again next week to follow the trail of another ancient legend, take care.